Well, Caleb, moving on to what the people really want to hear about, man, the Texas game.
Yeah.
Can you take us through the moment Coach Riley said you were gearing to go in?
So, man, early in the game, as we know, Spence was he was having a rough game in the beginning, early in the game, and um, for
Yeah.
some reason the night before, me and my dad were on the phone, and the last thing we said, because the night before the game, I know I always get a play sheet, I always go over it, I always write notes on the play sheet, front and back, things like that. Write down my assignment, where I'm supposed to be, certain things, checks, whatever it is. And so um, I was doing all of that, and my dad ended up calling me while I was downstairs in that big old lobby we had, and it was kind of warm outside, so I was sitting outside, and I'm on the phone with my dad, and the thing was, there was a certain like there was something in the air because me and my dad felt the same. We said the exact same thing, and me and my dad said that tomorrow's probably gonna be the day, or tomorrow might be the day. We said something close to that.
Mm.
Um, yeah, or it was something really close to that. I think it was a little bit more like tomorrow's gonna be the day. It was something closer to that than tomorrow might be the day. But we were on the phone and we both said it. He's like, go upstairs, prepare, get a good night's rest, wake up, be ready. Um, and so, I mean, I always prepare the night before the game the same way. And I get my little popcorn, my little kettle popcorn chips that Rachel has for us. I get two
Late night
bags,
snack.
late night snack, two grilled cheeses, and I get a bunch of Gatorades and waters. Um, and so doing that, I'm eating. I'm going over my notes that I wrote down and writing more notes and things like that. But that was the night before. Wake up, like I said, and I work out. I work out before the game, before everybody gets up. When Wiley was here, I was working out with him in the morning. Um, and so we work. I go upstairs. We're working out. I had to go up a few flights, working out on top floor, and it was just like body felt good, mentally felt good. I wasn't tight. I wasn't nothing. I wasn't any of that, and it was just like a really good morning. And we get to the game. I'm juiced up because we get our little pump from weights, and then we go eat breakfast, and then we go have our little pump from the media team, and after that we get to the game, and there's just like a certain feeling or energy that I have. Um, so I'm preparing. I'm on the field after I stretch and all of that. I'm throwing. I'm sitting down, taking it all in. Um, and then, like I said, Spence starts to have a rough game, and I'm like, well, the kickoff return or whatever it was, right? I look at
Yeah.
Jalil. We're standing up. If you go back and somehow you can see me, we're standing up on top of our white little benches. And I look at Jalil. I say, "Oh, this might be the one." So you can ask him. You can go and ask him. I say, "Oh, this might be the one."
Don't
And
Okay.
worry,
then,
Sooner
and,
Nation's probably gonna fact check you on that. So someone's
yeah.
gonna pull that up. I promise you.
So I say to Jalil, I say, "Oh, this might be the one." And then it starts to go on a downhill trend, and I'm sort of like smiling on the sideline. You can go check. I have a smirk or smile on the sideline. If somehow they can find it, and I'm just kind of pacing back and forth because I'm at this point I'm ready, like mentally, physically, like I've been waiting. And you go ask JB. I was like, once I get my shot, Justin Bros. Once I get my shot, and I said in the summer inside the indoor, just me and him talking. I said I'm not letting it go. Um, and so like I said, starts to go on a downhill trend, and um, I've been told to warm up before in the game. Like Tanner comes over to me, he's like, warm up just in case. And so like I'm like, okay, I'll warm up. And I'm just warming up at this point. I'm just getting ready, not really getting ready to go in because I've been told in games before, which I never went in after they told me to warm up. So I'm just warming up because I was told to warm up. I go get on the bike, all of that. And then Tanner comes back over with a certain look on his face, and he's like, come on. And I'm like, all right. And so he's like, go to coach. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I've gone to coach before for meetings, like defense on the field, special teams, whatever. I've gone over coach for meetings, things like that with the QBs mid-game. And so after that, I'm walking over there, and I'm strolling. Like, I'm not doing any type of – I'm not hustling at all. At all. I'm not hustling over to him. And I'm strolling because I'm just like, it's a normal meeting and things like that. So I'm just chilling. And so he looks at me. He's like, come on. So I'm like, okay. I start trotting. And he's like, come on, you're going in. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, that's what he said to me. He didn't say – I didn't get any fair warning that I was going in. It was one of those. I go up to him. He's like, and I'm not even going to him. I'm trotting to him after he tells me come on the first time. And then he looks at me again. He's like, come on, you're going in. And so I'm like, oh, okay. All right, let's go. And I buckle up, and I'm like, and then after that, I look at all the guys in the face in the huddle that are in front of me, linemen. I'm pretty sure y'all were in there, H-backs, wide receivers. And I'm like, let's go. And like, let's go. And we ended up going down, and I think we got a field goal, and he kept me in. And once he kept me in, oh, man, I had all the confidence going out there. But when I went in and he kept me in after that first drive, I was like, oh, it's game time. So we ended up going to halftime. And before I walk out, I make sure I pump the fans up. Before I'm walking out, I'm throwing my hands up, pumping them up, make sure everybody's up, make sure they see me, see my energy and things like that. And I get to the locker room, and I'm pretty sure y'all can remember I say to every single person in the locker room, we're going to win this game. And I go around shaking hands, and I tell them we're going to go win this game. And coaches included, and we go back out and we get back on the field, and we're all locked in. We go out there with a certain energy, a certain passion, and we go and do the unthinkable. So,
man, that passion, that I got to speak to that, because you're right, man. The passion that not only you came in with, but that like juiced the whole team with, bro. Oh,
yeah,
that passion was unmatched,
that was
bro.
different. I get chills every time I talk about the game.
Yeah,
every time I get chills right now.
Man. Yeah, because we were on it, like you said. We were locked in. We went into halftime style. They walked up the ramp. We finna win this. We weren't even worried. Yeah. It's the craziest thing ever.
We had people trying to run up the ramp, and we were getting yelled at because we were trying to get in the locker room and get prepared. We weren't mad. We weren't, man. It was, man. That was awesome.
I wish I could have saw you say that we were going to win this game to the team. I was too busy throwing up in the bathroom.
Yeah, you were throwing up in the back. I heard about the story with Link and walking in like you throwing up.
Whoa. Don't. He told you the whole thing?
Huh? Yeah, he told me.
Story?
Yeah.
Okay, he told everybody the whole thing.
He told everybody.
Don't say the whole story on the podcast. We just going to leave it at that, okay? But, oh, man. Now, honestly, though, like, back to the game, that was so crazy, bro. Like, from my perspective as an old head, I remember us running, what was it, Redskin? For the fans and listeners, that's basically the fake handoff. And I ran to the flat, and then you kind of waited too long and threw it out too wide. And in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to make sure he stays calm. Like, I got you, bro. We're good. So I remember any chance I could saying, small words of encouragement to you, like, we got this, we're good, don't worry about it.
And as soon as I missed, we came over and like talked right away. It didn't matter what the next play was. We talked right away, right there on the field, explaining what I did and explaining all of that. And we just went back to the next play and went down and did what we did.
Yeah, I remember you explaining the play. I'm like, you don't got to explain anything, just play. Yeah,
that's what we were saying. That's what Jay Hall and I were saying as old guys on the offense. We were like, hey, all we got to do is make sure Caleb don't have to worry about nothing but just balling. As a young guy, we were just like, hey, make sure the protection is crispy. Guys are running great routes. Like, just make sure he don't have to worry about nothing but going out there and balling. And
I remember getting onto the lineman. Yeah, I remember talking to Braden and getting onto the lineman. I'm like, you have to block. Like, I don't want this kid to worry about anything. Just go make a play. Like, let him go play. Like, I didn't want you to, number one, playing in Texas is a hell of a game.
That was freaking awesome.
Even for me, just I have to just take a second to gather myself. So I could only imagine being in your shoes. So
as you know, anything can happen in the Texas game. So
anything,
literally
crazy.
What do you think of when you think of that Texas game? Like, is there anything that comes to mind? Like any specific one line or one word or any moment? What's the first thing that you remember?
First thing that I think of, Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe.
Okay.
First thing I think of,
comeback action.
Tom Brady, comeback action. Drew Bledsoe gets hurt. Tom Brady goes in and he does his thing, and I always think to the moment where Tom Brady's doing this interview and he's explaining the whole situation. He's like, when you get your chance, I would have to do this to myself because of the situation I was in, and confidence in myself and things like that, how hard I worked. I was frustrated a lot through the times, first couple 6.5 games. I was frustrated a lot. Practice, everything, it was just frustrating. It was making me angry, and so I would have to remind myself all the time, when you get your shot, if and when you get your shot, and I kept saying when I get my shot because I was going to get it. When I get my shot, don't look back. And that's basically what Tom Brady was saying. Is when you get your shot, you only get one shot. Sometimes you don't even get that, but when you get your shot, you take advantage of that shot and you go and do your thing.
All right, Caleb. Well, you've certainly never looked back and have been taking this all the way ever since. And like I said, I'm so proud of you.